Jesus Christ was considered a beautiful man. It is written that he was beautiful, right? Jesucristo estaba considerado como un hombre hermoso. La Biblia habla de un hombre de fenotipo hermoso, de un genotype misterioso, de un genotipo misterioso, sobrenatural. Jesucristo estaba considerado, de acuerdo como está escrito en la Biblia, que su fenotipo, o sea, que su apariencia era hermosa, que era bello. Quiere decir que era tan bello como una mujer. Era bellísimo. The Bible states that he was beautiful. When we talk about beauty, we talk about people somehow believe that just women can be beautiful, right? De alguna manera las gentes piensan que nada más las mujeres pueden ser bellas. Y está hablando de una forma fenotípica. Y cuando hablamos de esta manera, estamos hablando de una belleza, ya sea de un hombre o una mujer, bellos igualmente de bellos, hermosos. Estaba considerado un muñeco. It was considered a doll because he was beautiful. And he had the talent to speak. Y tenía el talento de hablar. Y esa fue su defensa. And that was one of his defenses, right? His protection. And because he was beautiful, most of the beautiful people were living, casi la mayor parte de las gentes hermosas, siempre vivieron con una bandera en su espalda. Usually people live with a flag on their backs, right? Stripes, listones en su espalda, con banners, con banderas, anunciando la belleza, just in case they missed their faces. En caso de que se le pase verle la cara, ¿verdad? Quiere decir que las personas eran muy presumidas. It means that all these people were snobbish. Because they were beautiful. Porque eran preciosos. Si usted, if you have ever seen, si usted alguna vez ha visto a twins, gemelos, identically twins, gemelos idénticos, but one is a woman and the other one a man. Y uno es hombre y el otro es mujer. And eventually, if you didn't know, eventualmente si usted no sabe, that they have a twin, que tienen un twin, but it's not a man, it's a woman. And they never talk about that. That they are, usually when there's different sex, different gender, they don't talk that they have a twin, right? No les gusta decir que tienen un twin because they're identical. And some of them, algunos de ellos eat a lot in order to gain weight. Algunos de ellos siempre come un poquito más para parecerse diferente, but it's just like that. They are identical twins. ¿Verdad? Son idénticos. What it costs you? ¿Qué le produce? If you know that you're in love, que usted está enamorado of that girl, de la muchacha and you love the girl a lot, and que usted ama a la muchacha igual, and eventually you see there is another person and it's a male or female, whatever that the case is, y que eventualmente es hombre o mujer, ¿verdad? Se enamora de uno de los dos porque you are a woman and the person you met is a twin and he falls in love with you. And eventually you find out that there is a woman who looks just like him and both of them are identical. It will cause you a strange feeling. Cuando se da cuenta de que sus caritas son iguales, le va a causar un sentimiento raro. Pero no se, ¿verdad? Es así. Cuando el Señor Jesucristo bajó down the road, cuando el Señor Jesucristo bajó cuesta abajo, Él sabía a lo que se estaba metiendo. He knew where he was going to a place where nobody was interested in to go. A donde nadie quería ir, nada más porque sí. Jesus Christ came to this place to save the people. Jesucristo vino a esta gente a explicarles, a darles el entrenamiento para que ellos pudieran vivir. No es fácil vivir en una sociedad. It is not easy to live in a society when somebody or everybody wants to have beautiful people around. No es fácil vivir en una sociedad donde se quiere tener gente muy bonita alrededor. These people probably explained to Jesus Christ. Esta gente probablemente le explicó a Cristo: yo no tengo la culpa de ser hermosa, no tengo la culpa de ser bello. A mí aquí me dejaron y no me entrenaron y no me dieron educación. Now I am a limp. Now I don't have both of my eyes. How am I going to make my living? ¿Verdad? Tal vez esas gentes bellas les quitaron una pierna para que no se fueran. Tal vez aquella gente que era bella le sacaron un ojo para que no pudieran ver. And the problem with these beautiful people around there, right, it was that they had a banner, que tenían una bandera, ¿verdad? La bandera de la locura, ¿verdad? They carry a beautiful banner on their backs right, with certain feelings of craziness. But a craziness with a mixture of lust. Lust because they were beautiful. De deseo, porque eran bellos. Locura de deseo. Craziness, lust. Need, de necesidad. Where all these people were not very well educated because they had the plagues. Donde la gente ya no podía ser más educada porque eran víctimas de las plagas de la sangre. Where these people were victims of the plague of the blood because they were abused, they were human trafficking. And that's the condition and the situation in which the society down the hill was, in the dark. Jesus Christ came to remind everybody that they have to want. And if they want to receive, that's the power in it. Entonces Cristo les vino a decir que hay poder en querer poder. Y que cuando las gentes tienen deseo de querer poder, dicen puedo porque puedo. And they come down the line. Cuando las gentes eventually find out that they decided to want to have the power to want, they had the power. They were under the light of blessings. Jesucristo fue embestido. Jesus Christ was taken in the wings as he was in the jail. With the people with this kind of illness also. They carry, not happy with the problems the same troops had. They had as a person the banner of the craziness, the lust, the need, the impaired. They were impaired because they were ignorant. Somehow, they didn't have the training. They didn't know what to do. That's the reason they live in darkness. Por eso, porque aparte de que eran soldados, eran personas, con sus vidas personales. No solamente los soldados, sino la gente en general, a los que él fue también. Not just the soldiers, but the people he went to deliver the word of power. When the soldiers had Jesus Christ in the jail, they spread all kinds of chemicals to burst the flag of stripes, of craziness, lust, and all kinds of needs to impair him just the same like everybody, to break the leg, to take out an eye, because he was beautiful just the same like everybody, so that he were able to go in the darkness, just like everybody's. Obviously, that's what they were doing. Obviamente, era lo que le estaban haciendo a la gente de tanta sobrevigilancia que había. Obviously, what it was happening, right? They were overcared in the land because they had two armies, one outside and inside at the same time, and another was surveilling the people inside. The people were getting crippled. The people were getting ignorant. The people were getting the banner of the lost, the mental ill, because they didn't know what to do. There was no jobs to do, to go for. There was no money. There was nothing to do but just to wait until the Lord were looking for to pick him up one day and to die and rest in peace. What it was happening around there was not too smart. Lo que estaba pasando ahí no estaba muy inteligente. A Jesus Christ lo hicieron caminar, que a Cristo lo hicieron caminar como un ser bello, a donde arruinaban a los bellos. That Jesus Christ was ruined, just the same, like the ones they ruined and just dumped in the darkness down the road. And there was a lot of people down there. Babies were born every single time. Overpopulation of ignorance. People unable to defend themselves. Victims of human trafficking. Víctimas del tratante de blancas. Con la bandera en la espalda de los listones del placer loco, de la lujuria, que produce la belleza, that the beauty produced in people. Cautivating. Cautivante, decía la gente, ¿verdad? Until they limped the people, hasta que dejaban inválida a la gente. Until they took one eye, hasta que los dejaban ciegos. Until they were not able to walk, hasta que no podían caminar. Porque when people start to drink blood from the human being, cuando las gentes comienzan a comer cuerpos humanos, whether if it's just like that and kissing and all the stuff, the medulla, cuando las gentes comienzan a comer del otro ser humano, la médula se comienza a secar. The medulla starts drying up. Because the defense, the natural defense, porque la defensa natural, because the natural defense that there is in the human body had to fight back the external agents, porque las defensas que hay en el cuerpo humano tienen que combatir todos los agentes externos que se han metido adentro. Y se acaba la médula, and eventually the medulla dries up. And that's how people feel they cannot move. That's how people feel they can walk very well. That's how people feel that they cannot walk anymore, because the medulla is drying up after eating from the products of somebody else's blood type. Cuando la gente comienza a comer de otra clase, de tipo, de sangres diferentes al cuerpo propio de la persona. And so these people were just down the road. Toda esa gente estaba tirada ahí y nadie quería ir a visitar a un limb que está podrido. And nobody wanted to go over there to visit a limb people putrid in their own, maybe feces, sweat from 5 years without taking a shower. And they were still so beautiful, with a beautiful hair, with a beautiful body but without a leg, with a beautiful face but without eyes. It was really bad. And until the people had to cover their faces, until the people had to cover everything in a dark color, right? And that's what we're telling you, right? Jesus Christ came, and these people were mentally ill because whatever their situations, but he did his job. And eventually, for all the people who have ears, just the same way that the Bible states, listen. The people who understand, do something about it. La gente que tenga oídos, oiga. La gente que entienda, haga su trabajo. Right? Jesus Christ went around the city and he convinced everybody. And he opened the glory of the Lord to everybody. Jesucristo fue tomado de un lado al otro, de un sistema militar al otro sistema militar, y fue tomado y él dio la palabra a los judíos y a los no judíos. Right. Y vemos nosotros que fue algo difícil, that it was something very hard, because people was not able to perform, porque eventualmente la gente no fue capaz de hacer the miracles Jesus Christ performed. Nadie pudo hacer los milagros que Cristo hizo. People had to sit down and pray. La gente tenía que sentarse a orar, to go and provide the word, ¿verdad? la gente tenía que estar, ¿verdad? Orando bastante para poder ir y atacar la situación. People had to go and pray a lot in order to go and tackle the situation. Why is that it's so hard for people to do all this? ¿Por qué para la gente es muy difícil poder hacer milagros? ¿Por qué las personas encuentran difícil poder ir y hacer el trabajo de Cristo? How come is that it's been so hard for people to perform the work as Jesus Christ did? Because people have the bad habit. Que la gente tiene el mal hábito de volver a cometer el error. The people have the bad habit to make the same mistake all over again. And they fall in the same hole. Y caen en los mismos hoyos de siempre. Where the human being, donde el hombre feels guilty, donde el hombre desarrolla la semilla de culpa, where the man sees his own heart with guilt. And from there, the remorse comes up. Y el remordimiento viene hacia afuera, right? Y viene el remordimiento. When they do not understand that they have to stop from asking forgiveness to everybody, right? Cuando ellos se les olvida que no es necesario estarle pidiendo disculpas a toda la gente. They have to correct themselves, right? Y se le olvida a las personas. Entonces estamos nosotros, ¿verdad?, en una situación donde la gente temporalmente pelea. And then people fall in the situation when they fight. And they fight because some people do not understand why people have to come to the same hole. Why people make the same mistakes all over. Porque la gente no entiende por qué tiene que estar cometiendo los mismos errores. That's how we have the illness, where two fields open widely, donde dos campos se dividen y se abren, uno por su lado y el otro por el suyo. And these two fields open widely to one side, right? Open to the other side. And it's these people, the people who wants to do whatever they want with a little bit of education, just stop right there and just do whatever they want to do, because they don't want to sit down and understand, and they don't want to have more training, porque la gente quiere hacer lo que le da su gana, es uno, con poquita educación, y ya no va más a ninguna parte porque ellos no tienen por qué estar aprendiendo. And the other one, y la otra, the people totally illiterate, la gente completamente iletrada, without training, people who are crippled, gente que está inválida, gente que no mira, people who can see, people who cannot talk, gente que no puede mirar, gente que no puede hablar, Gentes que ya no van a conocer de Dios, where the human trafficking, donde el tráfico de humanos es very active, donde el tráfico de humanos es bien activo, almost 100%, casi a un 100%. And this is the two dangerous fields. But where people went to die down the hill, where Jesus Christ came, donde Jesucristo vino to remind them that there is a power of wanting to want, and that we all are created equal with the goal of God. Right? And he showed off, and he showed the power of his Father all the way up to miracles. Y él creció y mostró el poder de su Padre hasta lo sobrenatural, because it's written in the Bible. Y la gente le pareció muy difícil. And people ended up thinking that it was very hard to believe and very hard to do what he did. When Jesus Christ said that the key of success for to live a life like he said we're supposed to be living, it was to obey the Lord's commandments. And one more thing, dijo. He said, cuando la gente pensó siempre que fue muy difícil lo que Cristo pidió, dijo o explicó, y la gente vio que eso era muy difícil, ¿verdad? Entonces vemos nosotros ahí que Cristo poniéndose como ejemplo en lo que él decía, donde él hacía todos los milagros que él hizo, porque está escrito en la Biblia que él hizo milagros sobrenaturales, que para llegar a eso se tenía que respetar la ley de su Padre, porque el Antiguo Testamento estaba vigente. Todo lo que dijo el Padre es vigente, dijo él. Mas yo te pido que te ames los unos a los otros como yo te he amado. Y yo te pido que ames a tu enemigo. Fue lo que dijo Cristo. I'm asking you to love one each other and love your enemies. ¿Verdad? Esas son dos condiciones poderosas. Those conditions very powerful are those. Porque one, if you know what's the need of your brother and your sister, si usted sabe cuáles son las necesidades de su hermano, de su hermana, you're going to live in peace, because you're going to find out to work things out. Porque si usted sabe cuáles son las necesidades de ellos, you eventually you're going to live in peace. Because they're going to need, they're going to have, they're going to supply for what they need, para encontrar maneras de resolver sus cosas. ¿Por qué pide o pediría por el enemigo? Why would you pray for the enemy? So the Lord can come up to his senses, to her senses, para que Dios venga a sus sentidos, so they can understand and work things out and negotiate the things possible to make the peace. Para que haya caminos en donde se pueda negociar la paz. So you can live in peace and everybody can live in peace. De esa manera se puede vivir en paz. Y decimos nosotros, ¿verdad?, que Jesucristo fue víctima del mal entrenamiento, de las enfermedades que fracasan a las tropas. Convenciendo a Jesucristo a los soldados romanos del poder de su Padre. Él fue capaz de mostrar la gloria de su Padre. Por eso regresaron a Cristo con los judíos. Y se cumplió que se vio el poder de Dios. Si no, ahí se hubiera muerto. Salió mirando Cristo. Y lo trajeron para decidir entre Barrabás y él. Y así fue eventualmente como decidieron que se quedara Cristo a pagar por cualquier cosa, ¿verdad? Que porque Cristo no entendía, ¿verdad? Que era la vida misma. Porque entre los dos patios que le digo que se hicieron, ¿verdad? Se hizo un patio para los que ya no quisieron ir a aprender y el otro patio para los que nunca supieron nada de escribir ni de leer y fueron ignorantes para siempre, cripple, y ya los golpearon, los asaltaron, los traficaron, ¿verdad? Uno fue la decadencia, people were decadent. Y el otro es la prostitución, with all the bad habits, ¿verdad? La decadencia de la gente, el descuido de las personas, el no leer la palabra de Dios. Y por el otro lado, la prostitución, las enfermedades, la falta de limpieza, de dinero, ¿verdad? Y estamos diciendo que los soldados, ¿verdad?, tenían todas estas pobrezas, ya sea porque estaban casados con las gentes de Down the Hill, ¿verdad?, que tenían todas estas bellezas y todos sus problemas de plagas, piojos, pulgas, hongos, necrosis, ¿verdad?, de la sangre que entra por la boca, que entra por los sentidos, por cualquier parte, because they were ill, right? Also, I'm very sure that a lot of people were ill and they still have to be in guard. They have to be the guard. They have to be surveying. They have to be on the horse. They have to do the work, right? People were ill, physically ill, unable to reason. And blindly they carried Jesus Christ, right? Because they were carrying. Ellos iban cargando la incapacidad, la ignorancia, las plagas, las condiciones, las banderas por las que sus cuerpos, por las que sus vidas estaban. They were carrying the plagues. They were carrying the conditions of these banners of, craziness, luscious feelings. They're crippled, maybe necrosis in their brain, unable to reason, right? And that's how they carry Jesus Christ, unable to understand, because was the problems this area, the conditions, the blood in which those symptoms of being like a zombie somehow, las condiciones en las que vivía toda esa gente, siguiendo cosas como zombies, parcialmente vivos, partially living. That's how eventually Jesus Christ was crucified, ¿verdad? And eventually he passed away, and eventually he resurrected, ¿verdad? Y eventualmente resucitó, and he raised up into heaven. Y vivió in a safety place after he finished his mission. Entonces estamos viendo that all this, todo este algarabío que se hizo, ¿verdad? We see that all this noise and all these arguments and all this stuff had to happen, ¿verdad? Tenía que pasar in order to make people so they were able to pay attention. Era necesario para que prestaran atención de que por los caminos que ellos andaban no había ningún fruto. because in the paths they were walking in, there was no fruit at all. La gente iba, the people were going to live in the dark places, right? In the second field, like we were talking, all these crippled people, all these illiterate people, all these ignorant people, ¿verdad? Donde los engañaban, where they were victims of lies, where the fraud was running 100%, donde el fraude estaba 100%. Where people had to spend their money with doctors, donde la gente tenía que ir a pagar lo que se andaban ganando para ir a ver al doctor. How good it does, so what kind of good business it'll be that you receive money to go and spend it to get better, to make you feel better. ¿Qué negocio puede estar tan bueno para que agarre dinero para después írselo a dar, para que lo hagan sentir mejor? Sería mejor ir a labrar la tierra. It would have been better to just go and seek the ground and wait until the trees grow and have the food from them and be happy. You know, just like a lot of smart people do. Así como mucha gente saludable e inteligente hace. Right? Pero porque hicieron sus bardas, but because they raised fence, porque ellos levantaron fence of these ignorant people with a little bit, right, decadent. They are the ones who raised these benches, these fences. They call themselves that because that's the way they heard they were in their hearts, right? When people find out that they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, cuando la gente eventualmente ve que no está haciendo lo que debía de hacer y que no es un ejemplo para los demás, when people eventually find out that they're not example for anybody, they start working against some good deals. Ellos comienzan a trabajar en contra de un buen ideal, right? And that's how people make their moves and they start making themselves upset y se comienzan a enojar, right? And that's what it is, right? That's what happened to Jesus Christ, and that's how all these problems these people had, right? Eventualmente pushed them to take Jesus Christ to die on the cross and to do whatever the spoiled people wanted and to do and please the people, decadent people who really didn't want to reason. And that's what we find, right? That's what we find in these lectures, in the 4 evangelic books, right? And all the letters of the apostles in the New Testament. They were talking about Jesus Christ and they were giving, some sort of like support in order to keep up, providing the people a tool to make themselves understand that there is a power of wanting to want, right? And that's the only thing, right, that we have to say, that because of it and because of these little things that we find, right, in regards of the Holy Scriptures, we say that we have written the story in order to not make the same mistakes, right? And how good it is for us to know that all these things have happened, to go and do the same thing all over again, right? But let us praise the Lord, right? That we can become wiser and so we can be prepared, right? And so the Lord can help us out to live a better life, to go up the hill and stay on the road, to follow Jesus Christ, all the road ahead for a better life with Christ. Que le pidamos a Dios, ¿verdad? En otras palabras, para que podamos nosotros subirnos arriba de la colina, para que nos podamos mantener en el camino, ¿verdad? Para que podamos nosotros seguir adelante, para vivir una vida mejor con Cristo Jesús. Que Dios los bendiga.